I should have done this font bigger, shouldn't I? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We having a good day?
Yes!
For those that don't know me, I'm Adam. I'm a best man.
Hello, Adam.
You have to read that bit.
This is the first time I've been required to make a speech, and it's true what they say, it's nerve-wracking. I only feel slightly better knowing that I'm not the only one in the room who should be feeling apprehensive and queasy at what the thought of what lies ahead. But then again, she just married Paul. I'd like to start by thanking the bridesmaids on behalf of their duties today. I think everyone would agree they all look truly stunning. I'd also like to take this opportunity to compliment Amy on how beautiful she looks.
Yeah.
And finally thank her for agreeing to marry Paul. At times I was convinced that people were starting to think me and him were the couple. I'd like to start with a quote. An amazing woman once said, "To the world you may be one person, but to the one person you may be the world." Likewise, a wise man once told me, a best man speech should not exceed the amount of time it takes for the groom to make love. Thank you for your time, ladies and gentlemen. There comes a time in a man's life when he finds that special someone, his one true love, his destiny, the person that will know and understand him for the rest of his life. That moment came for Paul when he met me, 15 years ago. Needless to say, on that day I had a friend for life. But he didn't register how close we were until a few years ago. I got a call, it was Paul. He asked me where I reckon we'd be in 5 years' time. He then paused and asked me, "So, Ad, what do you think about marriage?" I quickly told him, "Paul, you're a great man. I'm flattered, but I'm not that kind of guy." It was one time. Oh, maybe more, but... I should explain that after a night out, me and Paul, we stayed at my parents' house. Anyway, the next morning my mum comes in and asks if I want a cup of tea. I need to see a figure in bed next to me. Not naming any names. That figure under the cover seems to be making a strange slurping noise. How did it go, Paul? Only for then Paul to be surfaced wiping his mouth. Who knows what he was doing under there? Maybe he liked to enlighten us. No?
No.
The look on my mum's face was priceless and hasn't been convinced of us two since. Paul has specifically asked me today to refrain from mentioning any ex-girlfriends. Sadly, this has cut the speech short by a whopping 3 seconds. But he's the man of the day and I respect his wishes. I believe my main responsibilities for today are to ensure the groom arrives on time, check, sober, check, and looking good.
Yeah.
It's a difficult task because, after all, I'm the best man, not a plastic surgeon. Talking of surgeons, every time we go away on holiday, Paul has a reputation of injuring himself. Spain 06, first night, gets lost, punches a road sign in frustration and spends the rest of the holiday with his arm in a cast. Andorra 07, falls over on the dance floor, splits his nose wide open and screams, "Amy's going to leave me now. She's only going out with me for my good looks." Yeah, that's it, Paul. Your good looks. Although, to be fair, Michael Jackson had a more desirable nose. Bulgaria 08, we were skiing, a little kid half his size wipes Paul out and then is unable to walk for a couple of days. And my favourite, France 2010, he picks up a stomach bug. The hotel we were staying in had just one communal toilet for the whole floor. Anyway, Paul's up and down like a yo-yo to the toilet, but this one time he's gone for ages. I go up to see if he's okay. As I get to the toilet door's wide open and there's toilet roll everywhere. The smell is awful. I ask him if he's alright, to which he replied in a shocked voice, "I didn't make the toilet in time." So on that note, I quickly left. On a serious note though, being best man today has been an honour and a privilege. I honestly couldn't have wished for a better friend to be best man for. Over the years, Paul has been generous, trustworthy, funny and helpful. One of the best mates a person could ask for. We've had some great times together and I know we'll both look back at these times with fond memories. I think of Paul more as a brother than a friend, and I know that I can count on him for anything. Amy too has become one of my closest friends, and anyone who can put up with Paul for this long is my blessing. So ladies and gentlemen, please raise your arm and toast to my best mate and his beautiful new wife, to Paul and Amy.
Paul and Amy.
Well done, baby.